I like trains.
Hello everyone. This video features a chase of the Bessemer and Lake Erie local miscellaneous train L518 southbound from Greenville to Grove City. Or at least that's how far we ended up chasing the misc. On this evening, December 7th, 2022, I got a heads up that the Bessemer and Lake Erie would indeed be running a misc. This was finals week for me at Slippery Rock, but I had some time this evening, so I decided to go out and investigate. Now, around the time I filmed this, the Bessemer and Lake Erie local had been pulled by 868 and 905, a pair of Bessemer units, the two orange units, per se. So I was anticipating that that would be the power for this misc. However, if you guys check the date, today is April Fool's Day, and boy did we get fooled by Canadian National. Because unfortunately for us, this was not the power of the misc. Rather, this was a pair of Canadian National EMD SD70 M-2s, 8804 and 8876. Whoop-de-doo! Happy April Fool's Day, everyone. Now, I will say that previous picture of 868 is actually a spoiler for the next video, because the day before I filmed this train, I actually caught the misc as they ran one the day before, which did have Bessemer power, 868 and 905. I decided to post these two videos out of order because today's April Fool's Day, and I figured it would be more appropriate to post a Canadian National misc on this day rather than a Bessemer misc. Anyways, let's get into the video. Our chase began at the Shenango yard just south of Greenville. At this point, I was unsure what the power of this train would be, but I was anticipating it to be 905 and 868, aka the orange Bessemer duo. However, I was in despair and shock when I saw that the lead locomotive had a nose light rather than a high headlight, which indicated that this would be Canadian National power. And as I mentioned, the locomotives were 8804 and 8876. This train had 3 CN boxcars, kind of appropriate as it matches the power, as these were bound for Butler Yard and Bennett Supply Company. So this misc ran all the way down south the river valley. Now, as I mentioned, I did not chase this train all the way to Hamburg, and there were 2 reasons. One, because of the power. It's not Bessemer power, so it's not necessarily worth it, even though it's a train. And 2, because it was already dark and pretty late at night, so I did not want to have to get back to school around midnight, especially when I had finals. So it just wasn't worth it. Shortly after the CN-powered misc passed us, it actually stopped right before the Shenango Diamond, which is where the CN Bessemer sub, or Bessemer Lake Erie Railroad, and Norfolk Southern Meadville line cross over each other. The reason why the train stopped is because they had to call Norfolk Southern Dispatch to get trackage rights and get the signal to go over the diamond and proceed south. And this allowed us to catch the misc at a crossing just south of the diamond, as you will see in the next part. Our next location was at Hamburg Road, just south of the Diamond, as promised. Here we see 8804 and 8876 in much better lighting thanks to my car's headlights. Hamburg Road is the northernmost crossing on the south end of the line. After catching the train at Hamburg Road, we continued our way south to Fredonia at the Main Street crossing. This crossing is just north of Water Street, the location of where I caught the SD38 Duo leading the ore empties back in November. Our next spot was at George Jr. Road, just north of Grove City. This is at the Filer South Signals. We just beat the train here, probably by about 30 seconds, and unfortunately I did not get the best shot. However, I can't complain too much, especially because this is Canadian National Power and not Bessemer Power. No offense, CN. After catching the misc at Filer South, we headed down to Montgomery Lumber, which is just north of downtown Grove City. We were told that the misc would be working here, as they would pick up an empty center beam. The next bulk of this video will feature the train working Montgomery Lumber, first picking up the center beam and then later doing some switching.
Turn your car off. I want to hear the engines.
After 8804 and 8876 pick up the empty center beam, they shunt back onto a side track in the yard to switch around to eventually line up to the main. This process will be seen in the next few clips. After backing up into the main, the two SD70M-2s shunt the empty center beam into another side track so that they can run around it and eventually shunt it back into the rest of its consist. Now, I did not film the two SD70M-2s passing through on the sidetrack light as they were too far away from my car, so I couldn't have gotten good shots of them. Once the two locomotives ran around the center beam, they shunted it back onto the main and connected it to the 3 boxcars. After this, we headed straight to downtown Grove City at the Center Street crossing to catch the misc heading south one last time. Our final location on this chase was in downtown Grove City at the South Center Street crossing. There were 2 main reasons why I went to this spot for this train. 1, because of the good lighting at night, and 2, because of the teardrop mechanical bell. I am very glad that I went to this spot to catch this train, because unfortunately, this was the last time I would ever get to hear this teardrop mechanical bell. In January of 2023, this bell got replaced with an E-bell, ironically the same sounding one at Hamburg Road from earlier in this video. I'm very glad that I was able to catch trains at this teardrop bell as many times as I did, but now, unfortunately, those are just memories of the past, and that teardrop bell is history. The good news is there is still one active teardrop mechanical bell crossing on the Bessemer Lake Erie, which is located at Donation Road on the High Line just south of Greenville. I recently caught a train at that crossing back in February. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video so far of this April Fool's prank CN Power on the Bessemer Lake Erie misc. Thank you all for watching as always, and have a great day wherever you may be. And until next time, this is the Old Man Guy, out.